The year is 2012. A prime Amir Khan is coming off of a highly controversial loss by the likes of Lamont Peterson on a points decision. Wanting to re-establish his name at the top, a fight is arranged between him and Danny Garcia, a young but impressive fighter on a huge high after a respectable win over Erik Morales. Can King Khan get the victory he needs after such a confidence-crushing loss and begin a beautiful coronation for his way back to the top of the division? Or will Danny Garcia swiftly dispose of Amir and bring a new set of eyes onto a hungry, fresh face of the light welterweight division? Welcome back to Boxing After Dark. Tonight we're going to be pulling apart a bout that, while many were surprised by when it was announced, has left a lasting impression on the turbulent careers of two very talented fighters. In a fight between a vulnerable but highly experienced boxer like Amir Khan and a young, untested, but potential-filled youngin like Danny Garcia, the fight was one the whole boxing world would have to tune in for. And while at the time the fight was almost a blur among onlookers, today we settle down and analyze just why this fight was so important and memorable for these two warriors. Let's get into it. Amir Khan is far and away from a high point in his career during the lead-up to this fight, but at an undeniable athletic peak. Coming off of a very questionable loss at the time to Lamont Peterson, a fight shrouded in mystique due to an unnamed mysterious man writing on the scorecards and a failed drug test for Lamont Peterson one night after the fight.
But when they wanted the test, I didn't hum and ha. I said, look, fine, we'll take the test. And he was the one who got caught. So it just shows that I'm a clean sportsman, and all the way along, they were cheats. And plus, in the first fight, he admits he had taken the same stuff.
Khan was at his most motivated he'd been since his first professional loss to Brightus Prescott 4 years prior. Khan's style had stayed relatively the same since he'd become the youngest British Olympic boxer of all time at 17 years old, relying on his magnificent speed and Maxie Rosenbloom-style slap punches to win rounds and dictate fights. And despite an ugly-looking 2 losses in his 28-fight career, Amir had some vibrant names with a W by its side on his resume, including Zab Judah, Marcos Maidana, and Paulie Malignaggi. Something that undoubtedly played on the mind of Khan throughout his career was his initial loss to Prescott. Being humbled in just the first round, Amir had become already infamous for his so-called glass chin, and while Khan hadn't had to worry about it in his greatest fights due to his speed allowing him to get in and out of dangerous situations without getting hurt, Danny Garcia would be a scary threat to face in the near future due to his often talked about skill set. Danny, although a talented fighter with a lot of love behind him, was yet to prove why he was so applauded among the boxing community. While his most recent victory looked ever impressive on paper against Erik Morales, it fails to demonstrate that Erik was practically a pensioner by the time they'd fought, with Garcia being Morales' final opponent before retiring. But despite the lack of credible wins on the resume of Garcia, he was one boxing fans far and wide watched with anticipation. With a cracking yet quick left hand and some ungainly yet impressive movement, Danny Garcia was expected to be one of the next great American welterweights, but in front of him now was the Flash while he was Cyborg, needing to stalk the speedier man. Danny's timing was his plan, and his power his guardian. Pre-fight energy was relatively tame with the exception of Danny Garcia's father seemingly wanting to let Khan know of his shortcomings as far as his chin, footwork, and power against his son.
1-2, roll out. That's what you want to do? Come on, man. When Danny start landing these hammers on you, man, you want to say, what the hell am I in? You want to sit there and fight. That's the way it is. Listen, you're overrated, July 14, and still undefeated. Super lightweight champion of the world, Danny Garcia.
The fight finally arrived on the 14th of July in 2012. With both fighters having huge fan bases, it was no shock that both sides of the crowd almost had a war themselves on who could be more supportive of their fighter. Garcia enters the ring looking slightly nervous but ready to perform not just for the arena, but the United States and his descendants from Puerto Rico. Khan meanwhile makes his long walk to the middle of the stadium with fabulous blaring and a clear message indicating that it was once again time for Amir to rise back to the top of the light welterweight division and take the Ring magazine and WBC belts. The referee recounts the rules, the fighters touch gloves, and the bout begins.
Has moved from 140 up to 147. Lamont Peterson is out because of his drug transgression for the moment. So the field is open for Khan to reestablish himself as the #1 man at 140.
He's taking it easy, it's real cool.
Khan with a hard right hand behind the jab. Danny Garcia countered well with the right hand himself.
Punching power. In those exchanges, Garcia's dangerous. When Khan looks good, he looks really good.
Hard shot in round 1.
Landed some stiff shots.
Beat himself. Amir will have to beat him honestly. Auto Donaire a week ago in Carson, California proved you don't get the knockout.
But he's not using the jab too much at all.
His best interest, they're just all fighters would make.
Absolutely. Left hook by Khan.
He's universally recognized as a top referee.
CompuBox numbers in round one, pretty one-sided. Khan was 26 of 57. That's a very high accuracy rate. 10-9 Khan.
Khan is extremely sharp.
It's one of Freddie
Placing his
Roach's
punches
big
very well.
things, not focusing as much to the body as he did against Judah.
Right hands of Amir Khan. He hasn't been getting hit with those punches as much as was before, but doesn't match Khan with the speed.
2 punches at a time, and Khan can throw 4-punch combinations. Bayless observed it, but said nothing. Wants him to throw.
It doesn't have really a straight right hand.
There's a cut over the right eye of Danny Garcia. That cut over the right eye looks like it may be a significant one.
Cuts in a bad spot for Garcia, right over the right eyelid.
About the location and the severity of the cut.
The cut is not as that severe, but what I'm looking at more concerned is the intensity and the speed that Khan is attacking him with. Khan is not letting him do that.
Garcia gave a little sign after the second round. He tried to touch gloves.
Straight right hand by Khan.
Saying that Garcia's not still fighting hard, but when you see a guy do that already in the second round after taking a beating, it can be a signal.
Garcia's punches, sometimes at the end,
Have solid punching power and land flush.
Fighters who, and then when they develop confidence,
he's not able to handle punching.
sure that Amir Khan is putting him under. Down goes Khan.
There it is.
Off a sensational counter left hook by Garcia. Sensational counter left hook. And Amir Khan may not get his senses back before the end of the round.
You okay? Yeah, it's not going to understand.
Kenny Bayless wants to see if he's ready to fight. Bayless is going to let him stay in the fight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Amir Khan was in huge trouble. Made it out of the round. But that changes the fight entirely.
But I see if Khan has the same recuperative talents that he's shown in the past.
Garcia with a big opportunity. Khan's knee touch. That's another knockdown. 2 knockdowns so far for Danny Garcia. Now he's been down twice. Once in the third and once in the fourth. This fight is over. This fight is over. Khan doesn't seem to have the legs. Huge right hand there. Garcia lands another big right to return. Oh, what a fight. What an uppercut by Khan. Good left hook. Another left hook by Garcia.
When he throws it.
Khan has taken over.
Khan is still punching back and with power when he punches.
Throws the right uppercut.
Third knockdown. Third knockdown of the fight. 2 in this round. 5, 6, 7, 8. You okay, man? Danny Bayless is going to stop the fight. Amir Khan has been knocked out. Danny Garcia has vindicated his father's misbehaviors.
After such an incredible turn of events with Danny Garcia proving his power and Khan showing his lack of chin for the second time in his career, the WBA and WBC super lightweight titles are back in America and away from England once more.
Man, I always knew I had it in me. I just need a great fighter in front of me. I feel like the great fighters bring the best out of me. Amir Khan is a great fighter, and I knew if I fought him, it would bring the best out of me.
Khan, after being very openly displeased in his prior fight to Peterson, was much more welcoming of defeat with Garcia.
You know, I made mistakes, and you know, I got respect for Danny Garcia, the way he come back and the way he countered against the mistakes I was making.
Khan would find himself against some of his greatest competition yet soon after this loss, fighting the likes of Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, Kell Brook, and Carlos Molina. While suffering 3 further defeats since his shocking upset against Garcia, Khan continued to be an exciting name when fighting, and a battler who would always try his best with whoever he came up against.
I want my legacy to be remembered like
Amir opened the door to the Asian boxers, the Asian people out there, open boxing to them. At the same time, I'm the second youngest world champion coming out of Britain, which is a massive achievement, and the youngest Olympic medalist. So, you know, I want someone to beat it one day, yes, but at the same time, I want people to remember that, you know, how hard it was for me, and I never gave up. I always kept pushing. Being Asian, having obstacles in front of me, you know, at times having racism in front of me as well, I still came through it all.
Danny Garcia, although having not fought for 2 years at the time of this video, has had a myriad of both success and failure within the ring. Beating fighters such as Zab Judah, Paulie Malignaggi, and Lamont Peterson makes him look like the fighter thousands expected him to become. But with the culprits of his 3 defeats being Errol Spence Jr., Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter, it seems difficult to place just where he belongs in his division. Garcia seemingly has fallen into a limbo of being much better than his contender contemporaries due to his power and countering potential, but a letdown when needing to prove himself at the highest level. With his last fight before his hiatus being a victory against the talented Jose Benavidez Jr., there's no doubt an upset could be in store for title holders in whichever division Garcia decides to fight at, but whether he has the heart or passion to continue on in the sport or just retire with a respectable record of 37-3 is anyone's guess. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more from Boxing After Dark, feel free to subscribe to the channel and don't be afraid to drop a like and comment. Thank you for watching.